This episode of The Modern Rogue brought to you by Skillshare.
Yeah, dude, click on that link down in the description below. The first 1,000 of you lucky ducks get a premium trial membership for you to explore your creativity. You have to do this the entire time, like you're casting a spell. Is wizardry one of the things they offer?
That's, yeah, that's clearly, you're the magician. I mean, is this what you do?
Yes.
Look at ours and then look at theirs. I'll say it. What the hell?
How fast can you run? Did we just time travel? Because it seems like yesterday, but it was over a year ago that we were last at the Austin Historical Weapons Guild with Anthony and Anna. Watch this, watch this, watch this.
Definitely didn't do that last time.
My God, I've never seen such footwork.
Oh, it's like butter poured on sunshine.
It's like a thundercloud emanating from a falcon's
It's as though George R.R. Martin finished a book.
It's making my breeches tight.
They're always tight.
I can do it again. Watch this. No.
No offense, it's cool. No offense, man. Just, yeah.
All right, what are we learning today?
We're super excited to have you guys here today because we're going to learn about messer fighting, which is really just a way of saying knife.
Now, yeah, we made like a long baby messer buoy, I think we called it.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow. Are we done? Is this the thing?
This
are
looks like
looking
we
at the
have
thing?
a knife/sword.
I would call it a baby messer buoy.
I think you just made that up, and I'm okay with it.
Is a messer just a short sword, like Sting, or?
Or like a machete?
A messer is not a sword, and that's kind of one of the hilarious guidelines about a messer. Messer was coming around, at least one of the theories is in the German, when the city-states were kind of unifying, and swords were kind of outlawed except for the nobility and everything else.
But everyone was allowed to have a knife.
Yes.
So you
even
got a bunch
though-
of Crocodile Dundees running around.
Exactly.
But this
exactly.
is a knife.
It doesn't have a pommel. It's not made by the sword making guild. It's made by the knife makers. Like,
Well, technically, that's a missa.
What time period are we at this point?
we're in the 1500s or so, primarily in Germany. Again, it's really hard to pin this down because it's not like they didn't take them places or pick them up and do things like that.
So you could expect just about everybody to have one of these on their person at all
Yes.
times.
And messer just translates to knife,
Yes,
right?
it literally just means knife. It can be any kind of one-edged bladed object.
So previously we had learned a lot with longsword training about how you're simultaneously playing offense and defense. It seems like with a knife, it would be harder to do that, or am I wrong?
It is, you definitely get into a lot more of deal with the weapon than deal with them, just because it's such a short and fast and honestly terrifying weapon to play with, that you don't get that, like, the longsword is nice and long, so I can do a couple things at once with it. With the messer, you get one choice.
Yeah, it's like the longsword is nothing but a series of press releases about what you intend to do next, and a messer is just like, yeah.
The longsword is, you stay over there and we're going to politely fight.
Right.
The messer is personal.
It definitely is.
Okay, so where do we begin?
So there are lots of different fight books that you can look at. Messer, there are not nearly as many sources as we have for like longsword.
It's because they all died.
Yeah, right? So with messer, we stick with a few really tried and true ones. There's one called the Glasgow, which is an anonymous. We're not really sure who wrote that. One called Württemberg, and then you have Lekuschner. And these are all offshoots of longsword technique is what they think. A really great place to start is with Meyer, who gave us really the best kind of scaffolding teaching fecht book that we have, where he literally starts with, this is how you stand, these are your cut lines, all the way up into really complicated plays.
He wrote his book with the idea of, I don't want to sit here and teach you for years. I'm going to give you this book, clap you on the back, good luck, have fun, and I'm going to go and keep selling my book.
I studied a lot of X-Men comics, but
I think that's,
I got some. Well, you'll see.
All right, so where do we begin? What do we practice with?
So let's go ahead and get some.
Yeah. Are you telling me with a straight face somebody's like, no, officer, this is my knife?
Yeah.
They do though, because this little part sticking out here is called a nagel, which was literally sometimes just a nail driven in. So it can protect your hand, but you literally say, as I'm trying to like slaughter pigs or like do work around my farm, like this is just to protect my hand. It's literally not about.
Definitely not a pommel or yeah.
No.
Pommels this in.
Oh, what's the guard called? Probably a guard.
The cross guard.
Yep.
Also, it bears mentioning that in 15th century Germany, they were all like 8 feet tall. So this was just
They're all
enough.
giants. They were all like, you have problem with tiny knives?
Yeah, they were Nephilim.
So they're actually sometimes called Langenmessers, so long knives. And then you even get in, once somebody goes, oh, this is actually a really effective weapon, and it becomes more martial, you get Kriegmessers, which are war messers, war knives.
And they're as long as longswords are, but still just knives.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about.
So fundamentals, where do we begin?
So as you guys have done lessons with us before, we're gonna start with stance, because one of the most important things you can do is not get knocked over, right? So especially when you're talking about the kind of fights you're getting in with a messer, which could be arguing over who has the better cow at the tavern, your opponents are unpredictable. So
If we had a nickel.
yeah, right?
Every
Right.
cow-related argument we get into at the bar.
So you're gonna start with your dominant foot forward, and you're gonna be in that toes pointing forward, really grounded, not too wide here. I wanna have,
That was my problem before. Is I was always like, I'm ready.
I'm ready for the fight.
which is great if that ends your fight. If that doesn't end your fight, then you're probably losing a leg. So it doesn't have to be that wide or big to be stabled. I kind of relate it to carrying a stack of books. If I carry a long stack of books, I want them stacked nicely. If I start doing like the broken building downtown Austin, then I'm like, oh, right? So being underneath myself here is what's gonna keep me from getting knocked over.
Okay.
I am gonna say, when in doubt, butt out. This is always the thing, particularly with Meyer. He tells us, hang over your cut. And we're doing this like action figure bending from the hips because this increases my reach. So if I'm here against Anthony, right, and I can't hit him, I'm so sad, but I'm safe. But then as soon as I want to hit him, all I have to do is go like this, and now suddenly I'm in contact, but I haven't had to move my feet and actually get within his reach necessarily. So it's really kind of this, if you sat on a wet bench and your butt and you're like, oh God, like this is where you're at, right? This is
how you waddle
This is
while
your-
you fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is completely unsexy, but very stable. So we're
And you say this came from Germany, huh?
One would say you're supposed to look like you messered your pants.
All right.
Well, that's why they had
That's
the
it. Let's wrap it up. Come on.
You're in this stance and you really want to be square to your opponent, right? This is a very quick weapon. If you at all turn, that could be the ending of a fight. So staying square with your shoulders and hips to your opponent, your butt is out. And then we're going to come up here to a position called watch. So I'm up here, my sword is not tipped back, I have a nice grip. My hand is gonna rest against the back of my wrist. So I want my edge alignment, a long edge facing forward. Yeah, there we go. So this is called watch. This is a fantastic place to be because I can watch and see what my opponent's doing, but I can also throw cuts from either side from this position. So it's an advantageous place to start.
So at this point, no matter what they do, you always have the default option of Fruit Ninja, of
Yeah.
just straight down, right?
Absolutely.
To
Yeah.
quote Obi-Wan, you have the high ground, right?
Yes.
But then meanwhile, if they do something interesting and you have the most number of moves from here.
You have a lot of potential from here, but also if you're at distance and being safe, if somebody decides to like thrust at me this way, I can very easily just disengage and back up.
It's not terribly different from the starting pose of the daggers,
Correct.
right? Where we would
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
But the important thing is that the edge of the blade is constantly eyes on the prize. Plus also, what a effective way to very much communicate, I'm ready to mess your stuff up.
Yeah.
I'm ready to messer you
Absolutely.
up.
Yeah.
Like intimidation is a thing in a fight. Like if you're here and we're approaching, all of a sudden you're like, okay.
And I'm like, decision time.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I don't really care about my cows that much, but right. So from here you have two different easy cut lines. You can do what's called a scalp cut, which is literally straight down, bam.
Right.
Or you can do a wrath cut. And Meyer liked to name things with words and things that would give you a visceral reaction. So a wrath cut, you're like, oh, I must be really pissed. Like I'm gonna really put force into this, right? So he tried to name things that kind of gave you hints of like how dangerous or
The original YouTube titles and thumbnails.
So we're gonna stick with a wrath cut, which is gonna be this diagonal line. So from here, I'm gonna move my sword first. My sword is moving forward on this diagonal line. My butt is moving back, and this arm is like, ice skater, right? From here, I'm gonna come down, and then I'm gonna recover. So as I recover, I'm turning my sword, and then we're gonna cut right back up that same line, sticking my butt out, doing my ice skater arm.
So each time it's as though there's a counterbalance with one arm and two cheeks as you go from one to the other.
This is totally like I'm on the couch. The remote is there. I don't want to actually get up. So
You're
I'm
speaking my language. I understand this.
Yeah, right? So this is it's the remote move. That's what we're doing here.
Okay, yep.
But the reason we do this, we're teaching you this great big giant gross motor movement, which you might not necessarily do when you're in the midst of a fight. But what this teaches you is this here, oh gosh, my head is exposed, someone's cutting at my head, now I can use this hand to go whoop and recover. Right? And easily get out of range. So just to do that a couple times to get comfortable with it, you're cutting along this line, and then I'm coming up, I'm turning, my sword is kept close to my body, and then I'm gonna stick my butt out for my remote moment and cut back up the same line.
Whoa, this one doesn't feel as forwardy as, like, this feels very forwardy, and then this one feels weaker to me.
You've lost your lean.
You've lost your lean, but also your squareness.
Here.
Okay.
And then when I throw up again, I'm going there.
Oh, there we go.
You really
It
need to
is.
push
It's
your
like you
chest
got to
forward.
coil so that you can uncoil.
Yeah.
Here's a good rule of thumb too. When you have any kind of fight going on, I don't want to look away from you. I don't know what you're gonna do. Like,
Yeah, she has that effect on everyone.
It's a beard, I know.
You may not conduct yourself in an honorable way. You may just like rush at me like a rabid raccoon. I don't know what's going to happen. So if you look at me as I attack you here, I'm very square to you with my shoulders the whole time, and that helps dictate my range of motion. Once I start going like this, now I'm like here, now I have to do a lot more to recover.
All
and
of a
then
sudden I
if
could
I'm
do
out
like
here-
trying to hit your back or whatever. Yeah.
Right? So constantly staying like I'm square to you with my shoulders and my hips is like an easy, like that dictates my range of motion. I don't have to consider like, right?
From here, butt out, there you go.
Does the blade go up?
Nope, you want your, there
Blade,
you go.
there you go, blade,
Yeah.
blade
Forward.
towards, right? Butt out, arm back, keep square.
And then recover all the way up.
recover, and then it's this.
Now, when you're recovering, you've been
Yes.
you go up. Okay.
Because what this looks like against someone else, if I cut here, he's coming in. I want to avoid. I want to get out. So I'm coming upright to be like, what's he going to do? Do I want to cut up that same line? Meyer teaches us to link these cuts together this way so that you have, for lack of a better way to do it, like your fancy one move where you're like, I don't know, I've only been carrying my messer for a little while, but I can do this and I look scary, right? So like linking two cuts is a great way to create space for yourself.
So it's basically like two different starting positions, starting position 1 and starting position 2.
So yeah, Meyer gives us lots of guards. So you guys learned that with Longsword too. So this is a guard, watch, you've got steer, you've got boar, you've got vexel. Like there's lots of different guards that you can start from.
I remember all those.
This is all old news.
I remember all those. Yeah, just come on, Anna.
Okay, so let's just do that again, and then I'm gonna teach you guys another guard, then you guys can start fighting each other. It'll be great.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask about rapid raccoon style later.
Okay.
Yeah.
well,
I'm gonna ask about your liability insurance later.
You signed your life away. All right.
All right. Oh,
So
nope.
making sure that you're cut, yeah.
Yep, there we go.
There you go.
Thanks.
Yep.
Star Wars style.
Yep.
So here we are. Think about your belly button to your spine right now before you go anywhere, because that engages your core without limiting your movement. So belly button to spine is like if I'm gonna come into Anthony, go like, huh, it's that moment of like, please don't.
Yeah.
So here, in that nice engaged, and your wrath cut goes along, recover, come all the way up because you're avoiding perhaps a cut, and then come back up the same line.
Yes.
That's actually pretty straightforward.
So
I think I'm pretty good at it. I mean, you don't have to say it.
Yeah, thanks. I think we got it from here.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's how people hand over their blades. What we
So
just-
this is Meyer technique from watch, and you're
watch.
doing a wrath cut, and then a wrath cut up the same line. So descending wrath cut, rising wrath cut.
Okay, butt out.
Yeah,
Recover. Yeah. Good.
butt out. And kill Anthony so
Yeah.
I can inherit the sword.
Well, I haven't been swinging this sword at all because I'm like, all right, I need to stay.
I mean, really, it's a liability having you in the same room.
So let's just go ahead and use that to segue into how to stay safe when someone maybe throws a cut right at your head. We get to do something called a straight parry, and you get to be pretty jaunty. So who doesn't want that in their everyday life? So you're still in this, for lack of a word, wet butt. Right?
Perfect jaunty position start.
Just
Start with a wet butt.
We're going to, you can even like have your hand here if that makes you feel super jaunty.
Yep.
Whatever, okay? We're still leaning forward a little bit. And now the point is I wanna create a line of safety across my body with my sword. So I'm gonna have my arm straight out. I'm not straight up and down. And I'm trying to keep this pommel for a sort of like guideline can be in line with this opposing hip, right?
Okay.
But out front. This is something else I say, straight arms, are safe arms.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I would have thought for sure that you would want.
Well, sure, bend your arm.
Okay, all right. Point taken. Okay.
And if we leave you out here now with a safe straight arm,
Right, and that-
I can't, right?
Okay, no, that's good. Wow, that's very effective.
Yeah, it immediately becomes like, why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself?
That was my favorite scene in 300.
Why are you killing yourself? Why are you killing yourself?
You're out in this position, your nice stance, your belly button to spine, and you're straight out, and you don't want this at chest height, right? It's kind of coming off of like your pelvis, your hip level essentially.
Okay.
Because what's gonna happen is that you're going to catch someone's blade. I'm not gonna drive this up to meet it right now. You could effectively, but right now it's kind of like someone's cutting at me, I wanna be safe, so I'm just gonna come out to this straight parry, let their sword come to mine, and we'll meet in a bind, and you felt that really strong straight arm.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah. If I'm gonna cut at Anthony from this watch, he's going to wait, and he just turns in, right? He doesn't have to work. You saw him hardly move at all.
Right.
He's not having to do a lot. He's waiting for me to come. He meets my sword, and I literally can't, this is it, right? Like, I have to do something else now. So you're really, really safe.
And then meanwhile, you can't give up because he's got his blade right by your face and then just slice.
My only option at that point is to redirect or disengage. Right? Because once you come to the bind, they say that's where the fight starts. Now something's happening, you have to make choices of either engaging or disengaging.
I think when we were doing longswords, the metaphor that really stuck with me was the idea of like, now we begin playing chess and everything has a counter move and you try to predict what the other person's aiming towards.
Right.
You and I figured out really fast that one of us could just tackle the other.
There was some kicking. I remember being kicked.
This is a fight. That guy is trying to kill you. Do whatever it takes.
Yeah.
How was my jaunty defense?
This is great, straight arm.
Oh, that's right,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, so if I cut at you now,
Yep. Wow.
so keep it, you don't have to come to me, right? Like
Okay.
you're just letting me come to your sword because what's gonna happen now?
But meanwhile, I have my arm out, so you're not gonna be able to make it all the way up to my face.
So what's happening here is that you see this line of safety now across your body. So this lines up with that hip kind of, and this is coming off.
So if you do get past it, I don't care what you do over
All you
here.
have to do is this,
leading with the
right?
dominant
Like
style.
it's such small motion. So if I'm coming at you here,
Oh, I came to you again.
but
I'll
but
just
it was
wait.
a very small movement at least, so you're
Yeah.
really safe though. Like
Yeah.
you can feel that like I can't do a lot. So if you keep pushing out this way with the heel of your palm
Like towards you or?
towards me, yeah, there.
Okay.
So you see how your wrist is straight when we're here?
Right.
And if you start doing this,
Then all of a sudden I'm exposed. Got
Right.
it. So keep it at that 45-degree straight to
Yeah.
the hip.
So like one of the cues that I really try to get people to understand is like if you draw a box from shoulder to hip, like your hand, like I won't say never leaves that box, but that's a great starting point. Like so when I'm making this parry, if she's cutting, I'm gonna bring it in line with this hip. I'm not going way wide, right? Then bad things start to happen. Because the cut's coming from over there, I can't just sit here, because now she has that center and bad things start to happen. So I want to close off that box so she can't get into it while I'm holding in place in it.
So it's almost as though, like, keep your eye on the prize, and if you've ever seen it, Clem Fandango's shirt in, but
on
it's
board.
like there's no money in getting the blade any farther off to the side. The money is where the blade doesn't hit you. That's all you care about.
Yep.
right. I say we jump right into bow. For bow, it is straight parry, upside down.
So straight parry, upside down, still parallel, same thing.
Still here, yep,
arm
and
straight.
arm straight.
Got
Because
it.
now this is for this.
Got
right?
it.
That's the cut that we're trying to avoid now. You kind of have a lot of choose your own adventure moments. So as a cut is coming at me, if it's coming from Anthony's dominant side, I'm gonna straight parry here. If he cuts from the other side, I change my straight parry here. If he cuts at me from that first side again, I can come here. If he cuts at me from the other side, I can change and come here. So you have a lot of different avenues that you can use the same guards.
You're still maintaining your movement around a very specific axis.
Yeah, as you see, I'm doing this, I'm being very square to him. So as he's here, right, and then he comes again, I'm still staying square to him. As I see this cut coming this way, I don't wanna stay here. Like, ouch.
Right. Okay, moves we learned so far. This
Watch.
first one,
So get that pommel going forward.
watch,
Yep,
there you
watch.
go. Okay, got it.
With your wrath cut,
And then butt out, arm down.
And recover.
And then reset.
and
Again,
then wrath
square
cut
it off.
up.
Yep.
And then you've got your straight parry,
This.
straight arm,
Straight arm. Yeah.
and then bow. Yeah. Yeah.
I gotta tell you, this upswing right here, I feel like I'm sword fighting. That feels like one of the most flourishy things that we've done, where it's, hand up. It feels
you
good.
bust out into Rodgers and Hammerstein
That's
musical.
right. It's Pirates of Penzance.
It gets better though. Like I said, this is the like sexy, fun, scary weapon.
So when you do that cut, you can use that cut to like possibly, cool, I cut him, that's great. I can also use that cut as a displacement. So on that wrath line, that really angry line, if I'm going, I can also like displace his weapon to make space for myself to come in.
And I guess you would reach in and just grab his wrist. What's he got? Then all of a sudden he's got a blade up against his neck. Yeah.
Which is kind of where we're gonna go next.
Oh, sorry.
So no, it's a perfect segue for swords to necks. So what's gonna happen is one of you will sit in bow, ta-da, and one of you will cut. I'll sit in bow, so I can do the fun thing. So here I am in bow, he cuts, I'm safe, right?
Yes.
But I need to do something now, either run away or engage. So I'm gonna choose to engage. So what I'm gonna do, I have this cute little house of safety, and I'm going to press into this, and as I do that, my hand is gonna reach first. I don't wanna step in because I don't know what he's gonna do. So I'm gonna reach first, cool, this is safe, I'm gonna keep going. Now I control his arm, and now he can't do anything, and then this happens.
the amazing
or this
part-
happens, or this happens.
The part
Or
that
this
really
happens.
strikes me is how automatic all of this has to be. That's why you drill and drill and drill and drill to where you're not really thinking about it. You're just doing
Absolutely.
the thing automatically.
So here I am in bow, he cuts, I know I'm safe, so you can see I'm leaning in and pushing up a little bit to make space for myself. My hand reaches first, and then my body follows. I can grab him here, or I can snake in and do this. And this is like either my purse on the subway move or a like whoopee cushion fart sound, like whatever. Like whatever it is for you, but you're clamping. Like I am just clamping because at this point he literally like.
So to demonstrate, my arm is attached to her.
Yeah.
Right? I don't get this back.
And even if you tried to strike her with a fist, she's got the superior. Yeah, exactly.
In Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, that move, remember we were saying the Pledge of Allegiance, that was called the zipper, right? Someone threw a haymaker at you,
Right.
and then you come in,
Yep.
right, and lock them up right there.
America, because America.
Because America.
Yeah. It's really interesting when you start looking across different martial arts because the body only moves so many ways. So you start making these connections to other art forms. Cool, decide who is gonna be in bow.
All right. Here, I'm gonna come in from, how did you attack? From watch, okay.
And I'm
And then we'll get that turned up like that.
okay.
And I've got my blade towards you, my butt's out, and then finally I come in.
So I,
I'm sorry.
yeah, blood,
a little-
blood. Okay.
Yeah.
I like how your hand moved first. You do have to have this kind of like sensual moment with your opponent, right?
We're good at that.
So I knew it, so that's why I went there.
Yeah.
So if I'm here, I'm not gonna grab and then let go, because now I don't know what his body's gonna be doing. Contact means I have information.
Yeah.
So if I'm here, I'm either gonna grab, but if I go, no, I'm gonna go for it, I maintain contact and kind of like, whoa, sexy feeling up the arm until I'm like, oh, and then you're dead.
All right, here we go. Coming in with the slash, you block it.
There you go.
Oh, my feelings have been hurt.
That feels good. You want to try it?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right.
So
So a
stand
little
up,
higher, a little
stand up
higher.
higher.
Keep your head
Keep
safe.
that face safe.
Got it, okay.
Make that wall.
Grab this, slide in. I'm doing that totally wrong. I don't have a
Correct
body.
me.
You broke his arm, so I'm not like.
Oh, okay.
like
It's a net win. It's a net win.
It's a pat on the head. It's like, you broke his arm. That was very good.
so, you want to stay in your house,
Yes.
right? So if I'm here, I'm in my house.
Yep.
I don't want to lose my roof line.
You're letting it collapse.
right?
So keep this up.
So this is like
You're going
my cute little HEMA house, and I want to go under my HEMA house of safety. So I'm pressing this arm up so that I can get here, because I'm still safe. Even if he disengages at this point, I'm still safe.
Got it. Okay, try me again.
Okay.
Press
Yeah,
up, 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 up.
keeping it up, keeping it up.
Yeah.
Sliding in like this.
Yeah.
Tell me your actual subscription rates.
That one's really effective.
I like
That's
that one.
great.
Oh, that was cool.
great.
So what we've been learning up until now has been really technical, Meyer, learning very specific cut lines. And then you get to start moving into some other sources and fight books, which really kind of come off as probably one of your episodes, which is, I did this cool thing this one time, check it out.
I don't know what you're talking
That's
about.
a little.
Ours is
Wait, you guys have a
the
show?
resource of record.
Yeah.
This one particular book, which I really enjoy, is called the Glasgow Effect book. But he just gives us these little sort of like if this then that moments. And one of them, my absolute favorite, is what if you pick a fight with a guy who in the middle, after you've insulted his cow stock,
And you find out it's Anthony.
yeah,
It's Conan.
and he doesn't have a messer like you, he has a longsword, so now what? There's a move for that. So in this one,
Okay.
he talks about if someone has a larger weapon than you do, and you see him and he's gonna start to swing, you actually brace your messer with your hand and come up here. So now I have a lot of power to stop this really big weapon. I've stopped him, what am I gonna do now? So there's a couple things that I can do. I can turn and come in and just make a new breathing hole in his chest.
Right.
Maybe that's not enough for me, and he really, really insulted my cows because my fight style is German cow farmer.
Yes.
So as I'm here and we're in the tavern, I catch, and now I can really step in. I pull this around his neck, I'm behind his leg, and I just keep going.
Now we're doing some of the wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
What was the wrestling thing called?
Ringing.
The hoobajoo.
Messer has a lot of ringing and grappling in it because you're so close.
Oh, okay.
So I noticed when it comes in, what I fear is that you would slide off this way and chop off a finger
Straight
or
arms
two.
or safe
Straight arms or safe arms.
Okay, that's right.
Stick out your butt.
Okay, right? All
Do you
right.
feel how strong that is now?
Yeah, but I still feel like he could slide over and chop off
You're
my
not going to
fingers.
give him the opportunity because you're not going to sit here.
Okay, so what do I do in this case?
So after you're here,
Yeah.
you're just going to turn.
Keep that
So
hand high.
keeping this hand high.
Straight arms or safe arms. And then now I'm in control. Wow, that's like magic. Try it. Do the thing.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Yeah.
And my fingers are protected.
Right?
With your nagel.
Yeah. That felt good.
You want to try it?
I want to do it again.
Yeah, all right.
We're just going to do this all day.
Okay.
And then what was the other alternative? Like
So
there was.
now step in to be.
Oh, yeah.
You're pretty far, but you would step in to be here, and then you just hook it around his neck.
No, it stays there.
Oh, like
and
that?
keep and
Yeah, you
keep
just
pulling him
spin.
over.
Oh, and then
Yeah,
you're
you
just
would trip 'em.
You're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just
Spin
like
that way.
Just like it's ringing,
Rotate
you would
your
grab
hips and
him
shoulders.
and pull him down.
Okay.
Yeah,
So-
that.
Oh wow.
Right?
That is just immediate control over
All
the
right, here.
balance.
Now I get to be the bad guy. Okay, all right.
Okay, hang on.
What do you do? What's happening? You son of a... No! Now, how do you know you're the bad guy? Is when you're surrounded by 3 of these shirts. All right, here we go. I'm gonna take it slow. You ready?
Ready.
Yeah, you got your stance or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait,
all right.
what is my stance? With how am I holding this
So
at this
you
point?
can start here. You can start low
Oh,
and
okay.
just come up.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Okay, all right, ready?
Ready.
I have a good cow! Oh, Jesus. That's terrifying. Try doing the full tripping me thing.
Okay.
Carefully.
Yeah.
I have a good cow! All right. I think you're officially more warrior than I am. Dude, this is fantastic. Where can people learn more of all of this stuff?
So you can join us virtually now. You can take beginner courses anywhere that you have a computer. You can log in with us. But we are now open to in-person classes. So you can take beginner's course and then pop into one of our longsword courses, single sword, any of that.
Anthony Anna, this is fantastic.
This is really cool.
It feels good. It's like, it's been a minute since I've gotten a bruise from Jason Murphy. I'm pretty excited.
Okay, again.
No.
A wise man once said, the internet is a dumpster fire, a bathtub full of poop descending down the side of a hill on fire. YouTube tutorials are garbage. It is a grim time for anybody who is a curious mind who wishes to explore brave new worlds.
You called me wise. I'm so happy right now, but I got wise by not sifting through that poop in that bathtub.
Land it, you got
dug
it.
through it, and
Keep
I
going.
found that
What did you
this
find?
is nothing. There's just poop in that tub,
That's right.
Brian.
So what did you do instead?
I went to Skillshare and joined a community of creative learners, thousands of classes. My favorite that I'm going to take, and you're going to be excited about this, you better be.
Yes.
It is baking mouth-watering Mexican desserts.
Ooh, that actually does sound freaking awesome.
I'm gonna keep us in churros forever, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, you got real experts over at Skillshare. Not just anybody with an internet connection and a keyboard and a crappy webcam. We're talking about top quality tutorials, man.
It is curated from experts, and they have all sorts of things to foster your creativity, like writing classes, photography classes, editing classes, marketing classes, everything you need to change your life and explore all of your potential.
Heck yeah, dude. I feel like there's like an unlocked cheat code out there, and I can get the best of breed tutorials, and all I have to do is click on that link down in the description below, be one of the first 1,000 people to get a free trial premium membership. Start to explore your creativity and join this community, man.
But the important thing is churros. We're gonna have so many churros. I'll get it right eventually, I'm sure.
Offer and link in the description below.
I don't know, if you're a jaunty pirate, your pants probably get wet a lot when you're on the open seas.
That's the point.
That's why they had the big like puffy pants.
The puffy pants hide a lot.
Yeah, the puffy pants
you're
hide
in this-
everything, so you don't really know what happened.
You're in this stance and you really want to be square.